Yeah. What is a business meal?
Ma'am, I think it is the professional emails that you send to in
No, I'm
the
not. No, no,
youths.
I'm not asking about meal. MEAL meal.
Okay.
What is a business meal? Or just
Ma'am, I
say
think,
business dining. What is business dining or business meal?
ma'am, it's the like meal that you have in a professional environment. That's business dining.
Yeah, correct, correct. So it's a kind of a meal where you conduct business while eating. So business meal is a you also have food along with that you also conduct a meeting. So that is known as a business meal. So can anyone tell me apart from Julius? Can anyone tell me what any two business meal etiquette? Any two business meal etiquette? Any two business meal etiquette? Kamla, will you be able to answer? Kamla? Kamla Rizal, yeah. Will you be able to answer to this question? Any two business meal etiquette?
Not talk while we're
Uh,
taking food.
Kamla, can you be a little
Make
louder?
sure
I'm
there
not
is
being able
no
to hear
fall
you
of
properly.
this. We should not talk while we're having food. Should make sure that there is no fall of food while we're taking food. There is no fall of not that the food fall on here there, ma'am.
Okay, you should the food should not fall. You want to say that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and
Should
another
not
one?
talk more, ma'am. Not talk more, ma'am. While
Huh?
we're taking food, we should not talk.
Okay, while
While we're
chewing your
taking
food,
food,
while chewing food, you should not talk. Yeah, correct, correct. Very good. Nabajit, can you tell me any other two etiquette related to business meal? Nabajit, Vishwas, Nabajit, Biplab, Biplab.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, can you tell me any other two etiquettes related to business meal?
Yes, ma'am. While we are in a business meal, we should always use napkins. Uh,
Sorry, can you repeat it again?
we we have to use napkin while washing our while something while there
When
is
do we
something
have
in
to
our
use the napkin?
if something falls.
We should place the napkin
Uh,
on our lap. Want to say that? Do you want to say that?
yes, ma'am.
All right, then. Next.
Uh, we should keep our mobile phone silent or in a vibrate mode while in a business meal.
Okay, absolutely correct. Good, Biplab. Next, Rashmi. Rashmi Singh. Rashmi Singh. Yes, Rashmi. Can you hear me? Sneha Kaur. Sneha.
Yes, ma'am.
Sneha. So, what are you supposed to do after you arrive at the venue for a business meal? After you arrive, what are you supposed
Yes,
to do?
ma'am. I can't hear you clearly.
After you arrive the venue, after you arrive at the venue for a business meal, what should you do?
Yes, ma'am.
What is the next thing
Yes,
that you should do?
we need to greet the other person, I think.
Yeah, that is correct. Yes, that is correct. You need to greet and
And shake hands with them while greeting them.
that's a part of the greeting process only, greeting and shaking hands. And apart from that, what is the
Yes,
another
ma'am.
thing? You have invited the person for a meal. So what do you have to do after that?
Hmm.
No idea. Or confused?
Confused, ma'am.
Yeah. So after you greet and shake hands, you need to ask your guest to sit. So that is the basic thing. Okay, that is the first thing. That these are the two things that you need to do as soon as you meet the guest. All right. Okay. Thank you.
Ma'am.
So go through the notes. It's very easy. It's simple and easy. It's very easy to remember. And along with that, it's not necessary that you have to just, follow the notes that I have given. You need to just, it's not necessary to just specifically follow the notes. There are certain, other things also. There are a lot of other things associated with with the topic, so you can also think and give your own answers. All right. So go through the notes and let me know if there is any kind of doubt. Okay. So today I will be talking about business manners in different countries. So first of all, we will talk about Indian business culture and Indian business etiquette. All right, then I'll be talking about, then I'll be discussing about some other countries as well. So first of all, I'll start with India. So Indian business culture and business etiquette. All right. So in India, we value our tradition. We generally value our tradition, and that is why we are mostly dependent on our tradition, on our culture. So our behavior is dependent on that. So we prefer to basically build good relationships, and loyalty and trust are very important factors in India. So building good business relationship along with trust and loyalty are very important factors in India. Along with that, you need to spend a lot of time at meetings, at dinners, and at social clubs with potential business partners in order to build relationships, because the Indian culture is something related to building good relationships and building trust among people. So that is why, if you want to build a good relationship, if you want to build trust, then you definitely have to spend a lot of time with the business partners or with the clients, with the potential business partners. All right, so I have listed few points that one should take care of, which is related to Indian business culture. All right, so greetings and titles. All right, so in India, especially in India, a standard way to greet people in a business setting is a handshake and a good morning, good afternoon, depending upon the time. Okay, so a handshake is a standard way of greeting both men and women in a business setting, no matter what is their age, or their seniority. It does not matter. A handshake can be offered to anyone in a business setting. All right, then in some places, especially in rural areas, okay, especially in non-urban areas or in rural areas and villages, when you meet people, instead of a handshake, you can offer a you can greet them with a namaste. In Assam, it is said as namaskar, and in Hindi, it is said as namaste. So you need to fold your hands, and you can say a namaste or a namaskar. You can greet in this way. You can greet with a namaste or a namaskar when you meet someone from a non-urban area, from a village, because they are not that familiar with a handshake. They won't be that comfortable with a handshake in urban areas. In a business setting, in urban areas, people are quite comfortable, both men and women. They are comfortable with a handshake, but in rural areas and villages, people are not comfortable with a handshake. So it depends upon the environment. Either you should offer a handshake or you should just greet with a namaste. So these are the basic two ways of greeting people in India. All right, so whenever you shake hands with people who are older than you or who are senior to you, then what the Indian people generally do is just slightly nod or bow their heads while shaking the hands. So it's a way of showing respect, because we are somebody who believes in giving respect. So we give a lot of respect to our elders, to our seniors. So that is why when you can definitely shake hands with your seniors, but when people shake hands with their seniors in India, people prefer to slightly nod or bow their heads while shaking their hands. All right. Particularly with senior people. Particularly when you are shaking hands to your senior or somebody who is older to you, so you slightly nod or bow your head while shaking your hands. The left hand is considered to be unclean, and it is we do not offer the left hand for handshake or anything. We should always use your right hand, especially in India. We should always offer the handshake with our right hand. Even if you are a left-handed person, you should offer the handshake with your right hand. Then again, if you're offering a drink, food, money, whatever you're offering, you should always use your right hand in India. So it's a culture in India that you need to use your right hand to do any kind of work, because the left hand is not considered to be pure. So it's a basic thing in India. So you cannot like do things with your left hand if you're, especially when you're offering something to another person. When you are offering something to another person, or when you are taking something from another person, you should use your right hand. So this is one culture that prevails in India. Next is the body language. So we Indians, we value our personal space, and we do not, prefer to make much physical contact. However, especially in men, the friendly back patting is common. While a lot of people, especially when they are of the same, when they are, when they are in the same position, or when they share the same designation or the same rank, uh, colleagues, friends, what they do when they meet is they would shake their hands and also tap the back of the other person. So uh, it's quite common for the Indian man, not for the women, but for the Indian man, it's quite common. So it's basically to show a friendly gesture, to show a friendly relationship. The men, they pat each other's back. So back patting is not that uncommon for Indian man. It's basically a sign of friendship, and it's also a positive gesture. It's a positive signal for building a good relationship. Okay. Next thing related to body language is related to non-verbal communication is showing the soles of your feet or your shoes, or pointing your feet towards anyone is considered to be disrespectful. All right, it is considered to be disrespectful. You cannot show your soles of your feet or your shoes, or you cannot point your feet towards anyone. It is considered as disrespectful and insulting in India. And also stepping over paper, books, religious offerings on the ground. These things, we cannot step on these things. It is also considered as disrespectful and insulting. So we should take care of these things, and we cannot point fingers to the other person. We cannot point a finger. It is also considered as disrespectful and rude. So you can definitely, whenever you have to say something, you can use your palm, you can use your hand, but you cannot point fingers towards anyone. It is considered as disrespectful in India. Next is the corporate culture. So, depending on the type of Indian business you're dealing with, it is not common for middle management to have. It is not common for middle management to have decision making autonomy. So, the middle management in India does not have that kind of a authority regarding the decisions. All right. So, whenever you're meeting somebody related to some kind of business or something, if you are hoping for a positive response, you're supposed to meet someone who is senior enough to give you a positive response. So in India, the middle level management, they cannot like quite take a lot of decisions. They do not have a lot of rights to take decisions. They do not have a lot of power. So that is why whenever you are meeting somebody for some business purpose, you are supposed to meet somebody who is senior enough so that they can take a decision and they can give you a positive response. Whenever you start a meeting in India, you know do not uh, do not start something that is related to your personal life, or do not start anything related to the personal life, family and background, and all these things. You can definitely talk about all those things, but you need to take some time to discuss about all these things. You cannot just start with that. So that is why you need to take some time. Do not start your conversation with your family background, or with your with any kind of personal things. You need to take time to disclose all these details. Whether it's necessary or not, it totally depends upon that particular situation. But you're not supposed to talk about all these things at the beginning of the meeting. And definitely you should make an effort to be on time, because people like punctuality, punctual people. But sometimes, in India, especially in India, uh, people are not that good regarding being punctual. So that is why, if even if you have reached a venue, you can like expect that the other person might be a little late. So it's not something very shocking in India. Whereas in other cultures, it is not that, it's quite shocking, it's surprising and shocking. But in India, if somebody is late for 5 to 10 minutes or so, if you should always give an effort to be on time. But if the other person has not reached the venue on time, you must not be shocked, because इतना चलता है. So, but you should you should never reach the venue lately. You should not be late. You should always give your effort to be on time for any kind of event. You should be on time. But I am just telling that when somebody is late, like for 5 minutes or 10 minutes, you can just adjust to that particular thing. But in other cultures, it is not quite common. Then related to dress code, so it is conservative, and especially in a professional in business settings, you need to wear professional attire. You need to be wearing formal wears, and you should not like wear revealing clothes. You cannot wear casuals. You need to wear formals. You cannot wear casuals. And because of the culture, also our you need to be a little conservative. And although this thing can vary depending upon the region, depending upon the region, depending upon the place, depending upon the city, it might vary. But the general rule is to wear formal clothes, formal attire. All right. So these are some of the things that the people in India follow in a business culture. So these are some of the things that are related to Indian business culture and the Indian business etiquette. Is there any doubt? Is there any doubt?
Ma'am, like I wanted to discuss about like pointing fingers.
Hmm.
So, ma'am, like, is it like sometimes when we want to mention someone, then is it like fine to point fingers and then mention them in a like positive way, or is it is it's not that fine to do such?
No, you cannot point fingers. It is considered as disrespectful actually. You cannot point fingers. You can take the name, of course, but you cannot point fingers. That is considered totally, it is considered as disrespectful, and it's not good to point fingers. Not in a professional setting, not in a personal setting, not anywhere. So pointing finger, especially in India, it is not considered and most of the countries and in most of the places, it is not considered. It is not considered to be something that a person should use. You cannot use your fingers to talk. You cannot use your fingers to show something, or to say about something, or say about someone. You can definitely, sometimes you can definitely like use positive gestures with your hands. You can use some kind of gestures with your hands, but you cannot just point your fingers, because that is considered as disrespectful. All right.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, so quickly I will move on to the topic, business manners in different countries. So I had just now explained you regarding the business culture in India. Now I shall be talking about few different countries. Okay, so the culture, the business manners, it totally depends upon the business manners, business etiquettes. It depends upon the traditional values of each and every. place. Okay, it's dependent on the culture, it is dependent on the tradition of that particular place. So it keeps on changing, depending upon the places. And there are certain general rules, but apart from those general rules, few things it can keep on changing when you keep on visiting different places. And how will you be able to understand or learn about the culture or the business etiquettes that you need to follow in different places or different countries? When you will experience the same, when you visit a new place, you're going to experience something new every time. And before that, of course, you need to do a little bit of research regarding that place, regarding the tradition and culture of that place, and regarding the business etiquette of that place, so that you at least have a general idea, uh, and so that it helps you to communicate with the people of that place. But once you visit the place, you will get a lot of knowledge. You will experience a lot of new things. You need to research, of course, that is going to help you initially, but later on your experience is something that is going to teach you a lot of other things. Once you meet new people, once you meet new people from different places, once you visit new places and meet new people in those places, and you're going to learn a lot of new things. So everything is not available on the internet, or everything is not available in the books. So few things, it also depends upon the practical knowledge, it also depends upon the practical experiences of life. So you can definitely do a little research regarding the countries, that what are the things that you need to follow or you shouldn't follow in those countries. But once you are there in that place, not only about countries, in any state or any other city, whenever you visit a new place, even if it's a village, you'll learn something new about that place, you'll learn something new about the people, you'll learn a new thing, you'll learn a new etiquette regarding that place. So that is why the etiquettes, business etiquette, the business culture, it keeps on changing depending upon the places, depending upon the country. So I'll be talking about a few countries which might help you in the future. So Germany. Okay. Germany often respects communication. It's also wise to remain serious and devoid humor, as jokes are not appreciated in a business context. So in Germany, whenever you are in Germany, or whenever you are with German people, whenever you're communicating with German people, they welcome direct communication. You should not hide anything. You should not try to say something that they cannot understand it. You should always be direct in case of communication. You should try to communicate directly without hiding anything. And they do not appreciate jokes in a business environment. So you should avoid jokes or humor, and try to be serious whenever you are, communicating with Germans, especially in case of business deals, especially in a business setting. We are human beings, so in personal life we are all the same. We are similar. We like to meet new people. We like to meet people. We like to have fun. We like to crack jokes. We like to have fun. Especially we like to have fun. We are human beings in our personal life. We like to have fun. We like to enjoy our life. So we all human beings. No matter you're from Germany, Italy, or whatever place it is, uh, we all like to enjoy our life. But in professional settings and business settings, you need to behave a little differently, because depending upon the culture, the settings, the business etiquettes are totally different, depending upon the traditions and cultures of the country. So in Germany, you are not supposed to crack any kind. In some places, you can be humorous while having a conversation with your business partner, or while you are discussing about a business deal. You can be humorous, you can crack jokes, you can be slightly casual. But in Germany, you should avoid humor and jokes. You should remain serious and you should communicate with the other person directly. You should not hide anything. You should not use the indirect way of communication rather than you should use the direct way of communication. You have to say something and not understood something. You are supposed to directly ask and directly share the opinion. Alright. Then in Italy, in Italy, business is often personal and relationship is driven. So expect to spend a significant amount of time getting to know your Italian business partners and developing a relationships with them. So in Italy, they prefer to build relationships. They prefer to build relationships. So that is why, in order to build relationship, you have to be ready to spend a lot of time with your business partners, with your clients. So because they give space to relationship, they like to build good relationships, good personal relationships. So that is why you have to spend a lot of time with them to know them, and in that process they will also know you, you will also know them, and then you'll have a good relationship with them. So they believe in building a good relationship before anything. So if you relax and put business on the back burner instead of focusing your efforts on forming a foundation based on trust and friendly communication, you will find more success in Italy than a hard driving all business all the time approach. So if you are someone who likes to talk directly about business or something like that, you only like to talk about work and business, but in Italy, what you have to do is you have to be a little bit of friendly as well, which you cannot do in Germany. Germany, you have to talk about business. You have to be serious. You have to be talking only about business. You have to talk about work. But in Italy, it's slightly different. What you have to do is you have to also try to build a friendly relationship rather than talking all the time about business. You have to definitely talk about business and work as well, but you need to give a little time to that friendly communication as well. So this is the difference between Italy and Germany. Next is Australia. So punctuality is the absolute key when meeting to discuss business. So in Australia, you have to make sure if you're meeting an Australian or if you are in Australia, then you have to be very punctual. You have to be there on time. In India, if you can be late for 5 minutes, in Australia, you cannot be, because that's how they are. They are very punctual people. So you need to be on time or maybe a little bit early so that you should avoid any kind of circumstances to be late. Okay, so you should try to arrive a bit early rather than being late. Otherwise, you can be, like understood as a rude person or an unorganized person. So uh, the or the Australian person or the Australian people would not like to be with you or would not like to conduct any kind of business with you if they find you, being unorganized or rude if you are not on time. So these are some of the rules that you need to follow in Germany, Italy, and Australia. And there are mm, many other countries as well, and each and every country has their own rules and regulations. So I will not be talking, it's not possible for me to talk about each and every country. So mainly I had discussed about India, Germany, Italy, and Australia. So these are some of the countries, and I just wanted to show you the difference in the rules and regulations, in the behavior and the manners of the people of these countries. There are other countries as well, and each and every country has something unique, have something of their own. So what you can do is you can do a little bit of research if you're interested to know. But uh, this is it for business manners in different countries. And if you want to know about any other country, you can ask me. I shall search it. I can do the research for you, and like if you can also search it yourself. All right, so that's all for today. Is there any kind of doubt?
No, ma'am.
All right, so I hope it's clear. I hope all of you have understood. I have been repeatedly telling you all to read the notes, to go through the notes. Please go through the notes because it is not only for the exam purpose. You do not have to study only for the exam purpose. Of course, that also matters. For the exam, you have to study, you have to score good in the exam. But apart from the exams, it's also related to your practical life. It is also related these things. You will need these things in the future. You have to know about these things in the future. So that is why go through the notes, read it, understand it, and if you want to know something more regarding any of the topic, you can ask me. And yes, that's all. So go through the notes. I'll be sharing all the notes, whatever I had explained today. I'll be sharing all the notes and go through the notes and go through the previous notes as well. If you have not yet studied, go through the previous notes as well. So be thorough with each and every topic. So it should not be like this that you have to buy hard just before the day of the exam. You should not, buy hard. You should just understand and you should be able to write your own answer. Alright? So with this, I conclude. Thank you so much, everyone. See you in the next class. Bye bye. Take care.
Thank you, ma'am.